Namaste. Let's start with the Mangalacharanam. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha भारमाकुदशाकेन शराधीकुहकेन चारुधीवनपालोक्या वैदेही महिता हृता ता हृता हि मही देव्यैक्यालोपावनवधीरुचा हानकेह कुधीराशानाकेशादकुमारभाः हारितो यदभो रामा वियोगेन घवायुजः तं रुमामहितोपेता मोदोसारज्ञरामयः Yomaragnya. So we changed it to Sarajuramayah. Yomarajurasado motapeto himamarutam Joyuvaganageyo virmara bhodayatoriha. I've got to change that. Okay, I'll do that later. In the 23rd shloka, Anuloma Padyam, Harito Yadabho, Ramaviyogena Agha Vayujaha, Tam Rumamahito, Apeta Amodo, Asaragnya Rama Yaha. So Hanumat Samagamaha and Sugriva Sakhyam. These two were said in the Anuloma Padyam. So Rama Hari Toyadabhaha Meghashyamalaha, so whose lustre was like that of a rain cloud. He was separated from Sita, Rama Viyogena, after separation from Sita, because Ravana took away Sita in the earlier shloka. So here, Rama Viyogena, Agha Vayujaha Abhuta, so he met the son of Vayu, who was Agha, who had no fault with him. So Vayuputrena tasya samagamaha asit tadanantaram Sugrivena sakhyam asit. So how was that? Ruma mahitaha Sugrivaha. So Rumaya pujitaha. Even though Ruma right now was with Vali in the city, yet she still was thinking only about Sugriva. So because of Vali, now Sugriva became very, he lost his strength, he lost his fame, Dukkhitaha Abhut, yet he was still thought highly by Ruma, and he reached Rama right now. Ara. Ama. Ama Yaha. So Yaha Sugrivaha Tam Ramam Ama Prapa iti. In the Anuloma Padyam, we see that Pradyumna, who lost his consciousness, he fell down, and then he fell down to the sky, and he regained his consciousness right now because of the cool wind that was there in the Akasha. So Yo Amara Juhu Asadopama Asadomaha Atapetaha Himamarutam Jo Yuva Ghana Geyaha Vim Ara Abho Daya Toriha. Okay, so I just used the Vyakhyanam explanation that was there. First, he was hit by Indra's arrows, and then he lost his Visamgyatvat. He lost his Samjna, consciousness, and Kshanam Amaraihi Saha Yuddharahitaha. He could not fight with the Devas for a moment, and he fell down to the Akasham from the Swarga. So Punaha Shita Vayuta Yuta Viyattala Akalanaya. That is where when he reached the Viyattalam, when he reached the sky which had a cool wind, he again regained his consciousness. That is Atapetaha. One whose tapa or suffering was completely gone. And then Teja Udayaha Asita, he again became very lustrous as before. And then Yuva, he was young and victorious with an unfading fame. He became worthy of being sung by the great people. So Ghana Geyaha Abhut iti asit. Okay. So now we move on to 24 Anulomam and Pratiloma. Bhanu Bhanuta Bhavama Sada Moda Parohatam Tam Hatamara Sabhaksho Tirata Krita Vasavim The reverse is Vimsavata Kritarati Kshobhasara Hatam Tam Haropadamo Dasamava Bhata Tanu sorry Ava Bhatanu Bhanubhaha. Okay. The chandas here again is Anushtup. So let's go over the shloka. Bhanu Bhanuta Bhaha Vama Sadamoda Paraha Hatam Tam Ha Tamarasabha Akshaha Atirata Akrita Vasavin. Okay, this is the Padacheda here. Anvaya Bhanubha Nuta Bhaha Prathama Bhakti Vama Sadamoda Paraha Atirata Tamarasabhakshaha. So there are 4 adjectives for Rama here. Tam ha Vasavim hatam akrita. Most simplest of sentences that we have. One of the simpler sentences that we have encountered in Raghava Yadaviyam. So, Tam Vasavim Hatam Akarot. Rama killed that son of Surya, which is Vali. So, this shloka talks about the beauty of Rama, and such a great Rama killed Vali. That is what is given in this shloka right now. So, let's go over the words. Bhanubha Nuta Bhaha. Rama, whose lustre is such that it excels even that of the sun. That is, he was shining more than the sun right now, and he killed Bali. So Bhanu Bhaha, Bhanoho Bha, Bhanu Bha, Surya Tejaha. This is the lustre of the sun, the light of the sun. So Bhanoho Bha. Tena Nuta. So Bhanu sorry, not Tena. Taya Nuta iti bhavitavyam atra. So Taya Nuta, he was that is Taya Nuta Bhaha. It goes to again the Bhaha Deepti in the form of. So when you connect these two, Rama, who has a Deepti, who has a Kanti, which was Nuta, which was bowed down to, or which was worshipped by the lustre of Bhanu, the sun. So go in the reverse, English, that's how it is. So Rama had a great Kanti to which Surya's Kanti bowed down to. So did namaskaram to Rama's Kanti, it seems. So what does that mean? It means when you do namaskaram, it means you are accepting that the other person is greater than you, or in some way or the other you are accepting that there is a value to the other person which is absent in you. That is not present in you. Name iti namaskaraha. So you do something, you do a namaskara because you don't have that, you don't possess that quality that the other person has. So in the same way here also he is saying that the sun's Kanti does the namaskara to Rama's Kanti, which means the Rama's Kanti is much better than the Surya's Deepti. Suryasya Kanti. Okay. So Bhanu Bha Nuta Bhaha. So Nuta Bhaha Yasya Saha. So Bhanu Bhaya Nuta Bhaha Yasya Saha. Saha Ramaha. Okay. Surya Tejo Adhika Tejaskaha Ityartaha. So he had a Tejas which was beyond that of, which excelled that of the sun. Ati Rata, Atyantam Rata, one who gives a lot. Why do we have this adjective here? 2 things. So first is, he was more lustrous than the sun itself. And this was, after all, Suryasya Putraha Ayam Vali. So he could win over Vali easily because his Tejas was much better than that of the sun. Now the next one is Atirata. He gave the entire Rajyam. He did not have any lipsa, labdhumicha, tasena, asit. He did not want, he was not greedy towards getting Kishkindha Rajyam and annexing it with Kosala. Tatha nasti tasya manasi eva. So this is a Rajyam and I am only, this is the Kapirajyam and I am getting it for Sugriva, and he just gave that to Sugriva. Not only that, he also gave him a great Sakhyam, which extended beyond Ravana Yuddham up to Pattabhishekam. They all came there, and in fact, the description of the Pattabhisheka Adhyaya in Ramayana is very beautiful, where Kausalya, she adorned all the monkey wives, the ladies of the Kapi Vanaras, with her jewels, and she did makeup for them and all that. So the love and affection extended beyond just a transaction between the Sugriva and Rama. So that is Ati Rata. Rata, Ra Nama Dadati. So one who gives a lot. Ati Rata. The next adjective for him is Vama Sat Amoda Paraha. So Vama again is Sita here. Vama, beautiful lady. Mahila iti. Sad Amodaha. San Amodaha. Sad Amodaha. So Samichinaha Amodaha, or you can also take it as Sada Amodaha, happiness which is always there. He gives joy to Sita. Rama, who always gives joy to Sita. Sadamodaha Paraha Yasya Saha. So for whom? For Paraha, Tatparaha means who is always involved in giving extreme happiness to Vama, to Sita. So Sitayaha Sadamoda Paraha Ramaha Samichina Ananda Janana Tatparaha. So one who is Tatparaha, involved in creating lovely happiness, or you can say creating eternal happiness. Both ways are fine. So here, why this adjective is given for Rama? Everything is a Sabhipraya adjective in this case. In many shlokas we have seen that he randomly puts adjectives, but this one has just it's just come together very beautifully in this shloka, especially the Sakhyam with Sugriva and the killing of Vali. Rama fulfilled his side of the promise, so it led to Sita being discovered. So Sugriva had to fulfill his side of the promise also, which meant that it will give lasting happiness for Sita in the form of coming back and joining with Rama. So all three adjectives seem to fit beautifully here. Mut Pritihi Amodaha Nama Anandaha. So that's what we want to try to say here. Mut Pritif Pramado Harshav Pramoda Amoda Sammadaha. These are the synonyms for Santosha. Rama, Vama, Vamanetri, Purandhri. So Vama also means, sometimes, Vama means left. Vama can mean wrong. Vamav Panthaha is a usage. This is a wrong path that you are taking. It is not not an accepted path. Vama, in Shaktam, if you look at it, Vamachara is not wrong, but it is you take the meaning of Vama as in beautiful. It is a more beautiful, more attractive path. Iti Vamacharaha. That is another explanation that people say for Vamachara. So, you can have many meanings there. Now, there is one more adjective for Rama. Tamarasabha Akshaha. Everything else seems to fit. This one is also one who has the eyes that have the beauty of a lotus. Tamarasasya Abha Iva Abha Yayoho Te. Those two eyes of Rama, which have the Abha, which have the beauty of a Tamarasa lotus. Okay, so Tamarasa Abhe Akshine Yasya Saha. This is very similar to Mrigakshi, Mrigasya Akshini Vakshini Yasya Hasa. But the difference here is you have the Samana Dharma also here. So it is an Upama Alankara within the Samastapadam. One who has a luster that is very similar to that of, or beauty that is very similar to that of a lotus. So his eyes are as beautiful as that of a lotus. Rajiva Lochanaha, Padma Lochanaha, Ityasti Tasya Nama. So Tamarasa Abha Akshaha. So Pankeruham, Tamarasam, Sarasam, Sarasiruham, these are the, so in Amarakosha also you find the word Tamarasa mentioned for Pankaja. Vasavim, tam Vasavim hatam akrita. The rest of the sentence. So we saw Bhanu Bhanutabhaha Vamasadamodha Paraha Tamarasabhakshaha Atirata. 4 words for Rama. Tam, now tam Vasavim hatam akrita. These are the remaining words right now. So what did Rama do? Vasavim tam Vasavim Vasavasya apatyam puman Vasavihi. Oh sorry, I kept saying Suryaputraha, no? Sugriva is Suryaputra. நான் இது தப்பா சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன். Sutrama Gotrabhit Vajri Vasavaha. How did I miss that? Okay. Vritraha Vrisha. I think I got caught with the adjective of Bhanu Bhanutabhaha, and that's why I made a mistake there. So Vasavihi, Indra's son, is Vali right now. Of course, that is also, you can take it as yeah, அப்படியும் எடுத்துக்கலாமோ. So Sugriva being the son of Surya, Rama being better than Surya, he was more capable of killing Vali than Sugriva. Okay, you can play with that anyway, you know, that's how you do justification for the adjectives here. Okay, so Vasavim tam Indraputram Valinam ahanat. So hatam akrita jaghana. It's a very clear word. So you know how we use patanam karoti, tatha atrapi hatam is just a bhavi prayoga. He killed him, he made a killing of Vali, something like that. You have to give an explanation in that manner. Valiyai kolvadai cheidan avadi varno, you know, in but there is no dvivachana. It is not a case of dvikarmaka, but hatam makarot, you take it in the sense of ahanat iti jaghana. Okay, so akrita is a lung lakara padam of kurute kurvate kurvate, which is the Atmanepadi Rupam in Lat Lakara for Krinj Karoti Dhatu. So Dukrinj Karane, the Dhatu is both Ubhayapadi, so it is Atmanepadi and Parasmepadi. In Parasmepadi form is more popular as in Karoti. So you have Akarot, Chakara, Akarshit. Akarshit is the Lung Lakara for Karoti. When you, the Atmanepada form for Dukrin Karane is Kurute. That is the Lat Lakara. And in Lung Lakaram, we find this form Akrita, Akrishatam, Akrishata. So Hatam, Akrita. So he killed Vali. Part is over. Now we move to Ha is there for Padapuranam. As usual. Now let's go to the Anuloma Padyam. Vimsavata Kritarayati Kshobhasara Matahatam Tam Haropadamo Dasam Avabhat Anubhanubhaha. So how do you split the shloka here? Vim, Saha, separate words. Vata Krita Arati Kshobha Asara Mata Ahatam Tam Hara Upadamaha Dasam Ava Abha Tanu Bhanu Bhaha. Because he used the same words, it's going to refer to Krishna also right now, that his luster is better than that of Surya. Both are Vishnu avatara, and so the adjectives also fit very beautifully for them. Now let's do the Anvaya here. Abhatanubhanubhaha. 1. Haropadamaha. Saha. Only 3 words for Krishna here. Vata krita arati kshobhasara matahatam tam dasam ava. Now what is the subject matter of this Anuloma Padyam? Krishna protected his Vahanam, which is Garuda. That's all. So again, Abha Tanu Bhanubaha, the padam for Krishna here is Abha Abhaya Tanu Tanuhu Tanvi. So Abhaya, with his own luster, he has made the light of sun less. So Tanuhu Nama Tanvi, or much less, Krisha. So Abhaya, with his own Abha. So the first word Abha here refers to Krishna's Tejas. With his Kanti, He has made some other Kanti less here right now. So Abhaya Tanvi Abha Tanuhu or Lagvi Abha Tanvi is correct. Okay, Abha Tanvi only you have to write here for now. And then when you join it with Bhanoho Bhaha Suryasya Kantihi, and then here it should be Abha Tanvi Bhanu Bhaha. Let me just pause and correct that for a moment because this is not how it should be. Okay, so why am I not able to do this? Okay, Abha Tanubhanubhaha, Abhaya Kantya Tanvi, with his luster. Abha here refers to Krishna's light, with his Kanti, with his Tejas. Something has been made Tanu. So something is Tanu, something else is less because of Krishna's Tejas. So Bhanoho Bhaha Bhanu Bhaha. We have seen two words for the word light before. Bha as in Akaranta Strilingam for light, Kanti. Bhaha as a Sakaranta Padam also for Kanti. Right? We have seen both right now. So Bhanoho Bha Bhanu Bhaha. So Surya Kantihi. Abha Tanvi Bhanu Bhaha Yasya Saha. So this is also a Strilinga Padam. Tanvi is also a Strilinga Padam. So these two are actually Visheshana Visheshya Bhava. So Abha Tanvi Bhanu Bhaha. Bhanoho Bhaha, the luster of sun or the sun's light, which is very little because of Krishna's Kanti. And such a Kanti is possessed by whom? By Krishna. So Yasya Saha. When the Yasya Saha comes in, then this Tanvi, which is in Strilinga, it takes on the Pullinga form right now. There is a Pumvat Bhava for the words which are used as a Visheshana right now. So you will always have, if it is a quality, then that quality takes on a Pullinga format for this. So it becomes Abha Tanu Bhanu Bhaha. Clear? So Krishna, whose Tejas makes the sun's light very less. Tejasa Laghu Krita Tapana Deeptihi iti. One who makes the Surya's light very less because of that. That is when Krishna is shining, nothing else will be shining there near him. So we have the Shruti Vakyam, Natatra Suryo Bhati, Nachandra Tarakam, Nema Vidyuto Bhanti, Kutoyam Agnihi, Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam, Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. This is a shloka that we normally use when we are doing Deeparadhana for Bhagavan at home or anywhere. So usually when you, that Deepam that you show in front of the Lord, you are actually saying, you know what, you are some Swayam Prakasha Swarupa. You are in a place and you are extremely brilliant with the light. That where even Surya does not shine. Na tatra Suryaha bhati. Na Chandra Tarakam. Neither the moon nor the stars can shine in your presence. That is the shine. We won't even be looking at it. This will be so much more brighter than everything else. Right? Na tatra Suryo bhati, na Chandra Tarakam, na ima vidyutaha bhanti. Even lightning is not bright enough in the presence of the Brahmaswarupa. So, nema vidyuto bhanti, kutaha ayam agnihi. Where is this little small Deeparadhana that I'm showing in front of you? So it's not for that you are actually showing, right? So, kutoyam agnihi. Tammeva bhantam anubhati sarvam. If that consciousness is bright, then everything else is shining because of that consciousness. So you are reminding that you are the light behind everything in this world. As you do Deeparadhana, if you are doing with mindful actions, this is one of the mindful actions that you have to do every time you do Deeparadhana. Otherwise, there is no purpose in doing that. It's just an action. That's not how it is. When you do that action, you have to have in your mind that, you know, I'm acknowledging and I am accepting that I'm surrendering to that supreme light, because of which everything else exists in this world. That is the idea behind that Deeparadhana. So, na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. So, similarly, the Vyakhyata gives this reference. So, immediately I was thinking of that shloka fully. I thought I'll explain that. Anyway, so Abhatanu Bhanubhaha, Krishna, who makes the sun's kanti seem very less. Hara Upadamaha. Now, Hara Upadamaha, the literal meaning of this is Harasya Shivasya Upadamaha Nigrahakaha, one who controlled Shiva. The reference that the Vyakhyata gives is Bana Ahava Vyahata Shambhu Shaktihi. Banasurasya Ahave. So Banasura and Shiva fought, Krishna and Banasura fought in a battle, Ahava. Vyahata meaning during that battle, Banasura Ahave, Bana Ahave, Shambhu Shaktihi Vyahata Abhut. So Shambhoho Shaktihi, the power of Shiva was Vyahata, was completely suppressed during the battle of Bana. So that is what it means. It doesn't mean that Shiva was conquered by or Krishna controlled Shiva. Tatha nasti. He controlled the power of Shiva right now in Bana's during the fight of Bana. See, every Purana has an agenda. Okay, let's give it that. So each Purana has a particular deity, has its own particular deity that is portrayed as the supreme deity. When you look at all three forms of the ultimate Brahman, all of them are equal. In each Purana, one particular deity will be given supreme importance so that the bhaktas will feel more attached towards it and they will be in that bhakti marga. And they will have more bhakti towards that particular devata. So there are Puranas directed towards talking about the supremacy of one particular devata. If you take Harivamsha and Bhagavata Puranam or Vishnu Puranam, these all talk about the supremacy of Vishnu. When you look at Linga Purana, Shiva Puranam, etc., these talk about the supremacy of Shiva. There is Brahma Vaivarta Puranam, there is Matsya Purana, Vamana Purana. There are so many different Puranas. Each one talks about one particular devata. Even within that Purana, you will also find each one of those devatas worshipping the other devatas. There will be like that. So how is it? Who is the best? And the kelvi ella kadayadu. This is not about, who is the favorite for the mother or father. That's how it is. Because for the parents, at some points they will show a favoritism towards one child, and at other points they will show a favoritism towards another child. It depends on who is weak at which point. That's what it is. It doesn't matter. But as far as gods are concerned, all are equal. So when we talk about this particular section, I will also give a reference from Harivamsha Purana. So the idea is very clearly the Vyakhyata also gives that Vyahata nama Shambhoho Shaktihi eva Vyahata. It is not Shambhuhu Vyahata. So Vyahataha. Shiva was not completely destroyed or hit down or conquered or anything. Shiva's Shakti or power was Vyahata, suppressed during Banasura's battle. This story I will tell you at the end of the shloka, okay, when we look at the Purana context. Okay, next is Saha Krishnaha. Now Saha in an Ekakshara Malika also refers to Vishnu. Saha Syat Vishnu Hare Sarpecha. So the word Saha itself is not only Saha Taute Saha Krishnaha iti. Yataha, I think, let me check what, in the earlier shloka, it did not talk about Krishna at all, if I remember. That is why we have to take Saha as Vishnu in this, to not to refer to as just merely pronoun he. Didn't we see that? So yaha amarajuhu. This shloka fully refers to Pradyumna, and it does not refer to Krishna at all. So when we say Saha here, we will naturally, as a connection from the earlier shloka, we would tend to take this as Pradyumna. But to avoid that, we have to use the meaning of Vishnu and not as Ayam or Eshaha for Saha. We have to use the meaning of Vishnu for Saha from the Ekakshara Malika or Ekartha Sangraha, so that there is no confusion between Pradyumna and Krishna here. Krishna is the one who protected Garuda in this shloka. Okay, clear? So, Saha Krishnaha. We have three adjectives for him, which are done. Hara upadamaha, abhatanu bhanubhaha, and then saha. Now what did he do? He protected Garuda. Right? Vata krita arati kshobha asara mata hatam vim. Vim nama pakshi. Vihi. I think last time also I said Virata Nagare Ramye, sometime in the or some other class, I'm not sure. So there is a riddle. Yeah, I said yes, in Vyoma there is a riddle class. You can check it out if they have talked about this. I'm not sure. So Virata Nagare Vihi Ata iti Maya Uktam. So Vihi Nama Pakshi. So Atra Vim Ava. He protected the Pakshi. He protected Garuda. Now, how was this Garuda? The adjective for Garuda is just very beautiful here. So, Vata Krita Arati Kshobha Asara Mata Ahatam. With his Paksha, that is with his wings, he creates a wind, and that wind itself is enough to destroy, to make the enemies tremble and lose their brain, and their desires will be completely crushed by just the mere wind, because just the wind is capable of creating trembling in the minds of the Shatrus. Then imagine what will happen if Garuda himself comes and attacks. Okay, so yes, please. Thank you so much. Ekonaika savakkakim yattat padamanuttamam lokabandhur lokanato madhavo bhaktavatsalaha. In that saha, vaha, kaha, kim, idella vandu Saha is refers to Vishnu Sahasranama. I was thinking where this padam comes in Vishnu Sahasranama. Thank you so much. Yes. So, Vata Krita Arati Kshobha Asara Mata Ahatam. So, let's look at what are all the qualities of the Shatru which are being destroyed by Garuda. So, we start off with Mata Ahatam. Matasya Ahatam Abhimata Hanihi. Matam Nama Abhiprayaha. This is his matam. That is what he thinks. That is what he wants. So Abhimatam here refers to desire. So the desire, a hani, Ahatam. Ahatam again very similar to Hatam Akrita. So Hatam Nama Atra Hani, a destruction. So a destruction of the desire. So the desires are completely crushed. The next is Kshobha Asara Mata Ahatani. Kshobha Sanchalanam. So Kshobha Sanchalanam. That is Sanchalanam Nama Kampaha. There is a trembling that happens. Asaraha. Saraha Nama Balam. Asaraha Bala Abhavaha. Lack of Balam, lack of strength. All these three are qualities that are now created in the Shatru. So, Kshobhaha cha, Asaraha cha, Mata Ahatam cha, Kshobhasara Mata Ahatani. All of these qualities are now put together into one Dvanda Samasa. Aratehe or Aratinam Kshobhasara Mata Ahatani. The Shatru, enemies trembling, weakness and crushing of desires. All of these things are kritam. They have been created by the vata, by the wind. So, vatena kritani, vata kritani. Vatam nama paksha pavanam. Paksha here refers to the wings of Garuda. So, with the wind from his wings, what does he do? He creates trembling, weakness and destruction of the desired in enemies, of the enemies. So, arati shatruhu. Tesham kshobham karoti. Tasya swasya pakshasya vatena eva. Tesham kshobham karoti. Utpadayati. So, asaram utpadayati. Mata ahatam. Tasmat tasya tesham ishta nasham karoti. Yeah, clear? Pakshavatenaiva, with the wind of his wings, Paripanthinam, Paripanthi, Arati is so much easier than Paripanthi sometimes. Paripanthi is one who stands against or contradicting their path, one who stands obstructing their path, which means it's a Shatru also, one who is against in their marga. So Paripanthi. Kshobam Daurbalyam Abhimata Artha Hanimcha Kurvantam Vim Dasam Vim Aduttana. Okay. So he is Krishna's Dasa. Dasam Vim Pakshinam Ava Raraksha. Garuda is also in Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya, he is spoken of as Alvar. Alvars are devotees of Bhagavan, right? So Garuda Alvar is one of the devotees. So he is a Dasa. Dasanudasa is we ourselves as normal people, we talk of ourselves as Dasa Anudasa. We are followers of the followers of Bhagavan iti, right? Dasasya dasoham iti. So dasam pakshinam vim garudam ava raraksha. So avati iti lat lakare vartate, lit lakare tu ava avatuhu avuhu. Okay. So some dasaha iti in Yamunacharya's Stotra Ratnam, the 41st shloka gives this shloka, is this shloka, dasas sakha. How much Vishnu values Garuda is given in this, right? Okay. Dasaha sakha vahanam asanam dhvajaha yaste vitanam vyajanam trayimayaha upasthitam tena puro garutmata twadangri sammarda kinanka shobhina. So puraha tena garutmata upasthitam. You in front of you, puraha. In front of you, Garutmata Upasthitam. Literally, if I have to translate it using the Bhave Prayoga, it would be, it is stood by Garuda. It's meaningless here. So, Puraha Garutmata Upasthitam iti chet, tatra, you say that in front of you, Garuda is standing. Who is Garuda? Yaha, the one, te, for you, he is a Dasa. He starts off with the word Dasa here. So, Dasaha, Sakha, he is your friend. Vahanam, Garuda is also your vehicle. Asanam, Garudasanaha, iti asti, Namavali. So, Garuda Dvajaha, so the one that is the Asanam is the same as the Dvaja. I've told you before also, Vrishabha, Asanam, and Vrishabha Vahanaha, Vrishabha Dvajaha, Shivasya. The same refers to Vishnu also. Garuda Vahanaha, Garuda Dvajaha, Garuda Asanam, api. If you go to Brahma, Hamsa Vahanaha, Hamsa Dvajaha. It's the same for them also. Only in Kartikeya it changes, I think, because of Shurapadma coming in and he wants to be the Dvaja. Avrika Asanam becomes the Mayura Vahanaha, Kintu Kukkuta Dvajaha iti tasya. But most of them, Simha Vahanam, Simha Dvaja also for Shakti, I think. So, Yaha Te, the one who is your Dasa, one who is your Sakha, friend, Vahanam, Asanam, Dvaja, he is also the symbol on your flag. He is sometimes your Vitanam. He is one who protects you from rain and shine. If Krishna wants some shade, all he has to do is come and stand under the shade of his wings, right? So Vitanam is like a covering on top, like an umbrella kind of thing. Vyajanam is a fan. What else? He can push away enemies with this fan with his wings. At the same time, he can provide very soft wind for Krishna also when needed. Vyajanam. Trayimayaha. He is of the form of the three Vedas. Adu Suparno, we saw the reference of Upanishad before, when Garuda was described before. Right? So, Tena Garutmata, the other part is very beautiful. The Garuda is shining, Shobhi, he is shining with the Anka, with the symbol of Tvad Angri Sammarda Kina. Krishna always sits on Garuda and with his leg he pushes forward, right? The leg becomes like a prod to push the Garuda in whichever direction he wants, or to slow down or go fast. when you horse ride, that is how you actually give instructions to the horse using your leg. So here also, Bhagavad Angri, the foot of Bhagavan has been stamping on Garuda, and that Kina is like a scar, and he shines with the mark of the scar that has been made because of Bhagavan's feet, which have touched on his body. So Krishna uses his leg, or Vishnu has been using his leg to push forward, and that kinam, that scar is there on his body and it is shining. Usually scars make someone's body not so great, but Veerasya Esha tu etattu chinnam iti uktam tasmat. दासः सखा वाहनम् आसनं ध्वजः यस्ते वितानं व्यजनं त्रयीमयः उपस्थितं तेन पुरोगरुत्मता त्वदङ्घ्रि सम्मर्द किणाङ्कशोभिन. Nice shloka. So Ramayanam, we all know references, so I did not take much reference from there, but I wanted to point out the Banasura Vadham in Harivamsha Purana. If you take Harivamsha Purana, there is no reference of Garuda receiving protection from Krishna. There is, of course, the reference of Garuda being hit by Krishna. That is there. So, Indra says, don't even go near Garuda right now. He says, Nasannam abhigantavyam Garudasya kathanchana. He says, don't go near Garuda. Balavan yeshaha. He is extremely strong. Patatam Raja cha Vinatasutaha. He is the son of Vinatasutta. Patatam Balavan. He just among all of the birds, he is the most strong bird. So don't even go near him. Dakshine chaiva savyecha parshve mama dhrita ayudhav. He talks to both Jayanta and Pravara and tells them, both of them, come and stand on both of my sides to protect me. No? So he says, Dakshinecha, Savyecha, Mama Parshve Dhritayudaha. Shakra, Indra is afraid of Garuda right now. Ubhau stito yuddhyamanam mameva prapashyatam. So look at me, you don't go near alone, you both stand as bodyguards for me, he says. And then, only after that, he showers arrows on Garuda. So, Atha Indraha Garudam Banehi Maha Ashani Samaswanaihi. Just like lightning, he throws arrows on Garuda. Vidyadha Sarvagatreshu. On all his limbs, Garuda was hit by Indra's arrows. Maha Astra Pravaraihi. They were also great weapons. Astram, Mantra Purvakam. Sahatan Banan Aganayan. Garuda did not even think twice about those arrows which came on him. Vainateyaha Pratapavan, he was very brave. This is the Yuddha Dharma. Indra might try to attack Garuda, but Garuda is very clear in his thinking, and he only attacks the elephant of Indra. Sasara abhimukaha saha, even though he is sasara abhimukaha, he always only looks towards strength. Yes, Veeraha, he is a great warrior, but at the same time, where did he attack? Shakra Nagam Arindamaha. Shakra Nagaha, Nagaha Nama Gajaha. He was so principled in his war that he went and attacked only Airavata. Then Airavata fell down and unconscious, all that happened. There is no mention. See, there is a mention of Krishna touching Satyaki and Satyaki regaining consciousness. Pradyumna again regaining consciousness because of Krishna touching him. All that is there in the Purana, but I could not find a reference to Krishna touching Garuda and he coming out of his unconsciousness or protecting him that way. So we would just take it as, because there is a mention of Garuda fighting with Airavata. And Krishna Mahimna Eva Saha Rakshitaha. He was just protected by Krishna's greatness. So which